I actually talk about things at some point.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
But, you know, majority just bullshitting. As Stone Cold would say, shooting the breeze.
I've never understood that.
Me either. Why would you shoot breeze?
I don't know.
Don't shoot Tyler.
Yeah, but, like, even if you're shooting a literal breeze.
Yeah, like, how does that work?
How do you shoot a breeze?
I don't know. How does that have anything to do with having a conversation, like a casual conversation?
I don't know. Well, welcome to the one-of-a-kind reviews half hour of power. A little snippet about us being confused about the phrase of shooting the breeze.
It is a rather strange phrase after all.
Because let's be honest, how do you shoot the breeze?
With not very much success, I would imagine.
No. It's like the other day I was talking to my friend, like, what is shooting fish? Why would you shoot fish in a barrel?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just grab them out? If you want the fish,
take
it out of the barrel.
We were saying the other day, like, shooting fish in a barrel legitimately means that you've caught the fish already.
Yeah.
Why you shoot... A fish is a very small thing, and if you shoot it with a gun, I feel it'll kind of just explode.
Yeah, you're not exactly going to be able to eat it after that.
Especially when it's in the confined space of a barrel.
Which itself will probably at least get a hole in it, and then if any other fish are in there,
it'll be a holy barrel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Blessed by Jesus.
Yeah.
Very holy.
Or shot.
Yeah,
that's the definition of holy, is like either blessed by Jesus or shot.
Yeah, well, essentially.
So 50 Cent is holy?
Yep, he's very holy.
He's like 5 times as holy as your regular person.
Well, does that mean Jesus is extra holy because of his hands?
Oh, we're getting into some dark territory here now.
We should actually move on to some wrestling now.
Yeah, so that was a weird intro to a podcast. Sorry, guys.
I guess that's
not
what we
not
do.
Really sorry, because, I mean, let's be honest, those phrases are fucking weird. So, on to the wrestling stuff, since this is meant to be a wrestling podcast. In inverted commas.
We might as well just talk about the Shane McMahon, Undertaker, the whole McMahon family feud that's going on.
Just the whole situation in general.
Well, I mean, first of all, where do you think it's going to go from here?
To WrestleMania.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Definitely to WrestleMania. No, well, I've got high hopes from here because, to be honest, like, they haven't really started it off with a bang.
No, not particularly.
Like, I mean, Undertaker coming out and just, saying that the blood of your son's blood will be on your hands or whatever, and just walking away.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that did nothing for the match. And then
it makes absolutely no sense.
Shane's really awkward punching of security was great, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to critique him on such a little thing, but, like, when that little thing is the only thing you're doing, then fair enough.
I mean, I can imagine at Mania he'll probably be better.
Well, yeah. He's not going to be beating up, like, no-name security guards that we'll probably see on TV in, like, 3 years as, like, perpetual jobbers.
Because that's how it tends to go.
Yeah, well... Yeah, most of the time.
Well,
But
not most of the time. I mean, if you look back at the history of security guards, you got like Sheamus, Cesaro. I can't think of any others at the moment. MVP.
That's a short list.
There's been others, okay.
There's been others, or they've showed up as rosebuds or something.
Yeah, Braun Strowman is the biggest rosebud ever.
Yeah, and there was Asuka was a rosebud.
Yeah, yep.
Which was kind of funny, because I thought it was what's her face from TNA. Or it might have actually been Jade.
Jade, yeah.
Actually, it might have been her.
Maybe.
I think it was, actually.
I'd never heard anything about her being signed or anything.
I think I just was really subtly racist then. Because I just thought Asuka and Jade were the same person.
Just because they're Asian.
And they've got, like, funky coloured hair. They're suddenly the same person.
Good point. I mean, that's pretty much every Japanese person these days, though.
Yeah, I guess.
So I can't blame you.
Like scene kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're adults. Scene adults.
They're scene kids, but they're 30 years old.
They're scene kids that never grew up. Yeah, so we'll get back to the Shane versus Taker thing rather than Rosebud. Jade from TNA for some reason.
Well, personally, I can see some sort of brand split happening. I hope it happens.
That is the only silver lining that could possibly come out of this, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. But I could feel like they could do it in a way where it's like they bring Triple H into it, so Triple H gets all shitty because he's now out of power.
As you would.
Yep. So then Triple H brings all these NXT guys up to essentially do what you could essentially do is do some sort of invasion, but actually do it correctly this time.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
It could be a good concept though.
It sounds great in theory, but NXT is developmental, and that's what it's gonna stay.
That's why you don't use all the NXT talent.
Yeah, but okay, who would you bring up?
Oh, you even like you don't like you could keep like your Kevin Owens, you know, your fucking all those people that came from NXT, like Bray Wyatt and all that. They could move over to support Triple H. Kind of be on his side, so you could still have some main roster.
So you mean NXT alumni?
NXT current superstars and alumni, a bit of both.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. But like, who from NXT currently?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you could count Sami Zayn.
No, you can't.
Okay. Well,
he could be part of the alumni.
Yeah, exactly. You bring like Samoa Joe, fucking even Baron Corbin, fucking Finn Balor, those sorts of people.
All right, and then
maybe
now
Jordan and Gable can come up.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you're getting your list out there. That's nice and all. But okay, after this point of the NXT/NXT alumni invasion thing, tell me what we'll see on NXT.
What you'll see on NXT, or what NXT's meant to be, young stars being brought up.
See, like, they've gotten NXT to the point where it pretty much is a third brand, even though it is developmental. It's, people who are being primed for the main roster or whatever. But, okay. But what's his fucking name? Dano Sabatelli or some shit?
Yeah, the big fucking football player,
like,
dude.
I feel that we just end up with that.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if Vince has taken a lot of control, but we probably would end up with just that.
Yeah, but why? No, don't give NXT to Vince.
No, don't. No, I'm not saying give NXT to Vince.
Say.
I'm saying, like, if they were to do this invasion angle that I'm talking about with NXT kind of trying to take over, if Vince was left in charge of who those people were, then you'd probably get people like him.
Yeah, I just feel that, like, if something like that happens, then there's not enough of an influx of, like, top talent,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It'd give a little bit more of an opportunity for guys like Austin Aries.
Exactly, the quote-unquote smaller guys.
Yeah, and, like, I feel bad. I'm a bit disappointed that if something like that did happen and there was a giant hole in the NXT roster, that James Storm is already gone.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, because he's a very, very talented guy.
Yeah, I'd love to see Beer Money in NXT.
I'd love to just see Beer Money anywhere but TNA.
Take him to New Japan, that'd be good.
That'd be funny. That'd be
hilarious.
hilarious.
It'd be fucking great.
Yeah, because it's just redneck Americans.
Exactly.
Perfect.
One likes beer, one likes money.
One's technically Canadian.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Let's just not point that out. Well, I mean, if they're in New Japan, they're what, gaijins?
Yeah.
Whatever. They're just white people.
Yeah, they're fucking close enough anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're white. They can be American. Close enough.
Exactly. We'd be American to them.
No, that'd be offensive.
It would be. I don't want to be called American.
I'd be very much offended by that.
Sorry to any American viewers we probably don't have.
Listeners.
Viewers, listeners, whatever.
Whatever floats your boat. You can watch a podcast if you want. It's not very entertaining.
Nah, might as well watch paint dry.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not that boring.
No, I mean, like, literally, if you're watching a podcast, all you're watching is the photo.
Yeah. Some people do live video podcasts, which makes it not really a podcast, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an interview.
Yes, I mean, they say that it's a podcast.
Probably because they release in podcast form as well. Like, I know Joe Rogan does that a lot.
Fair enough. All right. So, again, back on the Shane and Baker thing.
God, we're really bad at staying on track.
Yes, we are. So what is your take on how they're building this feud? Like, because to me, it seems excessively McMahon-centric.
Oh, it is, as per every McMahon storyline that there ever has been.
Okay, But I mean, if a lot of people have said recently, like, you know, oh, it might be Taker's last match or whatever, considering it's in Texas, all that jazz. Like, I'm praying, like, I'm beyond praying that it's not going to be his last match, because how bad would it be if his last match was built up as Vince versus Shane?
Yeah, no shit.
Rather than Shane versus Undertaker.
It essentially is Shane versus Vince, just Vince is, you know, part of this feud vicariously through Undertaker.
Yeah, it's like fucking, you know, the Battle of Billionaires at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Or the McMahon in every corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's literally just a McMahon family drama that the Undertaker's just kind of there.
Or the entire invasion angle.
Yeah.
If we want to keep busting out names or
we'll not get into that. But yeah, I just think it's a crying shame that Undertaker's not being built as like a more integral part of the feud.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like the fact that they haven't done some sort of like, maybe Vince has his urn, or, you know, maybe Vince has, just like Shane has over Vince has something over Taker to kind of make him do this. Yeah, or even bring something up as simple as the fact, like, you know, because they're kind of blending the kayfabe with, you know, the internet, you know, opinion of those things now. Like, exactly what we were feeling at Hell in a Cell, we were kind of like, oh God, we hope that Taker retires soon because he doesn't look like he can handle this. You know, bring that up. Yeah. Bring that up, and Vince be like, well, I have the power to get rid of you. So do the match. If you want to continue your career, do the match. Or have Vince do something along the lines of like, if you want to get in the Hall of Fame at some point, do the fucking match. If you don't do the match, you're not going in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, and have you heard this ridiculous theory that people have brought up, that apparently, like, people who read way too much into like transcripts of promos and stuff like that they've said that Shane McMahon doesn't actually have to win the match. He just has to have the match? That is incorrect, actually. I thought the exact same thing, but then I went back and watched the promo. You go back and watch the promo, Vince says, yeah, I'll give you control of Raw as long as you have one match. And then after that, he said, yeah, as long as you have one match of my opponent and my choosing and you win that match. Okay, so all those people were completely wrong. Yeah, they must have missed Vince saying if you win that match, which, I mean, I didn't miss it. Because I was going to say, like, that would be super, super swervy. It would be. Like, beyond Vince Russo swervy. Just be like, oh, well, you've had your match, you may have got decimated, and you're a pile of, like, fucking blood, urine, and vomit, as Brock Lesnar would say. And then, yeah, you get control of Raw, because you did it. Because you were ballsy enough to do it. You might have to come to the ring the next night in a wheelchair, but you still own it. Yeah, as long as you don't get pushed off the stage, it's all good. Starts that growth. I was going to say Kane's not a part of this storyline. It's his brother, Undertaker. Oh, he's close. He's close. There's a family relation in there, man. Come on. I swear to God, if fucking Kane pops out under the ring in the middle of that match or some shit. That'd be great. It'd be great. It would be horrible, because it'd probably set up another Kane versus Taker feud. You know what I would love? I would love if, like, Kane just pops up from the middle of the ring or whatever, but he's not Demon Kane. He's just corporate Kane. Just corporate Kane. He's like, what am I doing here? Yeah, he's corporate Kane, and then like the way they get out of you know, Taker siding with the Authority or whatever. Post WrestleMania, we get corporate Undertaker. Just Taker in a suit. The Brothers of Corporation, also the corporate Brothers of Destruction. Well, they were both part of the fucking corporation, weren't they? I don't think so. Taker was part of the Ministry Corporation thing that they did. And Kane was definitely a part of the corporation. I know that for a fact. Right. Well, either way, I think that would be hilarious, to be honest. Yeah, because Kane was a part of it while DX were a part of it. Or X-Pac, or whoever it fucking was. I can't remember. DX or X-Pac? So, a faction or a singular human being? From said faction. Right. Okay. I don't know how you get those two mixed up. I don't know. Well, I remember X-Pac being a part of it. I'm just not sure whether it was just him or whether all of DX was also a part of it. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. You're testing my memory now. It's not a good time for it. No, not particularly. My brain's not working for me.
Yeah. So anything else you wanna mention about the Shane Taker thing? How hilarious it was that Vince stepped on a photo of Shane.
It was quite hilarious.
The fact that he also stepped on a photo with him.
Yeah.
So like, and
that makes sense.
And he mentioned that his greatest creation was WrestleMania, and that it wasn't Steph.
Yeah. No, I think he mentioned that his greatest creation was The Undertaker. Yeah. Not Steph.
The fact that Steph wasn't brought up at all in that, and that she's like the golden girl of the McMahon family.
She always has been.
Yeah, but she's not the greatest creation, apparently.
Oh, no. Apparently Taker is.
Yeah, it's a big, spooky man wearing a trench
coat. Not Hulk Hogan?
No, not Steve Austin.
No.
None of these people.
No Macho Man?
No. Why would it be Macho Man?
I don't know.
Let's be honest, in the spectrum of like big stars in the history of WWE, Macho Man's big, but he's not that big.
That's true.
He's not the guy.
I don't know. To me, he would be. Then again,
not the guy, brother.
I'm the sort of person who doesn't like Hogan.
Yeah, but like as much as you can not like Hogan, he's the biggest draw.
You got to admit, he was the biggest draw ever.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna rank wrestlers best in the world by how much they drew, it'd be a tie between fucking Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold.
No, I think Stone Cold would have drawn more, to be honest. I mean, Hogan had the advantage of not being seen all that much for like a couple months at a time, and then he'd have a match. So obviously there's going to be a big drawing factor on that.
But if you were talking about actual in-ring ability, fucking Hulk Hogan would honestly be fucking right down there. He wouldn't be anywhere near the...
People can't see your hands, Dale. They can't see your hands. That was a very, very low reading.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan is way down here means he was shit.
Yeah, he's like right next to my feet.
He's right next to your feet. Okay. Well, that's pretty far down unless you're doing a handstand. So let's just... He's not doing a handstand, all right? Not doing a handstand.
And we'll leave it at that.
So we'll move on to the Y2AJ split /
feud / whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Tag team, because like we didn't really get to discuss that.
No, we didn't.
So Y2AJ was a thing for a little while.
Why was it a thing?
I don't know. I feel that honestly Jericho just kind of wanted to be relevant again.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
He was like, okay, well, because he said before in interviews that he only comes back for things that interest him.
Yeah, no shit. I've heard that before.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't want to do the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
No, he wouldn't just come back to job to R-Truth.
Or it wouldn't. Actually, I was going to say he wouldn't come back to do a certain thing, but then he did come back and do this thing.
What was that?
I was going to say he wouldn't come back and just be like, oh, I'm this person's mystery partner, but he did do that. I forgot about that.
He's always the mystery partner, Dale. Come on. But, yeah, so I feel that was heavily requested by Jericho.
Yeah.
Just because, like, AJ was the new flavor of the month kind of thing. And he was like, yeah, I got to get me some of that.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't AJ, he probably would have tried to get a match with, like, Nakamura or something.
Yeah, no. Probably would have, like, been, vying for, like, the first feud of, like, Zayn or something when he came.
Yeah, or if none of that, he wouldn't have been on Mania at all.
Oh, and how nice would that have been?
Honestly, it probably would have been pretty good.
Yeah, well, we don't want to see another fucking AJ versus Jericho match at Mania, and it's kind of looking like that's happening.
As I mentioned to Paul, it makes no sense on either end. Because if AJ Styles wins, what? Him versus Jericho, he's 3-1. What's the point? He already knew he was better. He already had the extra win. And then if Jericho wins, well, then it's 2-2, and they've got to have another fucking match.
And they will.
Exactly. Like, if Jericho does win, they will have another match. If Styles win, he can just be like, well, I already beat him twice. What's the point of beating him 3 times?
Because you're AJ motherfucking Styles.
I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to anyone. You're not the only one. It's okay. It's okay, Dale. But, yeah, so the inevitable split happened on Monday Night Raw after a phenomenal match.
Yeah, pardon the pun, but yes, it was phenomenal. Absolutely.
That was completely accidental. Completely accidental.
Don't lie, you did it on purpose.
I may have. But, yeah, so it was just the 3 code breakers in a row, because apparently he doesn't know how to beat someone up without just doing a finisher 3 times in a row.
No, apparently you have to do your finisher to beat someone up.
It was like in 2K16 or something when you've got 3 finishers stored up, and you're just like, I'm going to hit my finisher, stand here for a second, pick him up, hit my finisher, stand here for a second, pick him up, hit my finisher again.
Yeah.
And then shove a t-shirt down their throat.
Yeah. That was a very $1 Million Man-esque.
Sorry?
That was very $1 Million Man-esque.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of when he did that.
Yeah, just shoving a t-shirt down his throat.
Yeah.
He really put it in there, by the way.
At least he didn't do what Virgil claims that he's done before. I don't know if you watched that interview.
Sam Roberts?
Yep, the newest one.
Yeah.
Where he claimed that he shoved a note up someone's ass as well as in their mouth.
Yes.
He claims a lot of wild things.
He is a very, very strange individual.
Strange is putting it nicely.
I was trying to be nice because I don't.
There's no point being nice.
I have like this fear in the back of my head that he might be like New Jack.
And he probably would be like New Jack.
And he might just kick someone's ass.
Well, the amount of times he's gone to stand up and punch Sam in the face.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, now we're talking about another podcast / interview, like on a podcast. So it's a bit strange, but I don't know how much of that is legit. Like what's happening?
I think it is. I think Sam's actually fucking pissing him off and getting on his nerves big time.
Yeah, but I mean, after the first one, okay, unless Virgil's completely fucked out of his head.
He is.
Fair enough. He might be. He might be. I don't know. But he was part of the WWE for a long time. So, like, he knows what he's doing performance-wise. To an extent.
So I was going to say, you don't really know exactly what you're doing when all you did was stand on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, but to an extent, he knows what he's doing. So, like, I mean, they're not going to get big ratings for interview where it's just Sam Roberts and Virgil being amicable.
Oh yeah, but you can tell Sam Roberts goes out of his way to get a reaction out of Virgil. Like he's just doing everything in his power to piss him off.
I am surprised that he has not had his face beaten in.
Oh, me too.
Like very surprised. Why would Virgil even come back?
I don't know.
Like, is he that fucked out of his head?
Maybe
like, Sam's my friend. He's totally going to fucking take me to Olive Garden.
Yeah, maybe he was hoping that I can't remember what her name was, but that attractive woman that he forced to sit on his lap was going to be there again.
Yeah, well.
Said it was just some black DJ guy.
Yeah, and that guy just quite literally had no idea what to do.
Yeah, he was just sitting there laughing at Virgil. Like, what the fuck is this guy on?
Yeah, and then like every time Sam would kind of bait him, he'd just be sitting there like, oh god, this is about to get bad.
It was like Virgil's about to jump over the table and knock him out.
I'm seriously surprised that nothing like that happened. But
I'm surprised.
I don't know. Maybe he took him to Olive Garden before.
Maybe. I don't think so, because he was getting pretty worked up about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just went past, picked up some breadsticks, and was just like, well, this is what you've got for now.
I like how he didn't know that the meat sauce was known as bolognese.
Bolognese?
Yeah, who doesn't know that?
Bolognese.
Whatever. At least it's better than calling it meat sauce.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know the name of anything else.
He doesn't know a lot of things, to be honest.
Very, very, very true. And, so back on wrestling stuff that isn't Sam Roberts. But if you haven't checked out Not Sam, check out Not Sam.
He does some brilliant interviews, and he just tries to get Virgil to get as angry as possible. So those are especially fun. And
he also entered a Royal Rumble-esque type match at WrestlePro recently, which is kind of funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
If you want to go look at that, go look at that. It's brilliant.
I would advise that.
And Joey Ryan's in it, so it's entertaining.
Can't go wrong.
Entertaining anyway. And the only real other thing that we had to talk about this week is Sami Zayn making his quote-unquote debut again.
Now that I think about it, there's been 4 debuts for Sami Zayn, not 3.
Oh, what was the 4th?
He had the tag team match.
Yeah.
He had the John Cena one, the Royal Rumble, and then now.
Yeah, but it's not a Raw debut.
Still, it's a main roster debut.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, by that token, Rusev was in the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago, and he wasn't on main roster.
Well, he was straight after that, wasn't he?
I don't think he was consistently main roster after that.
He was brought up, though. He was counted as being main roster.
Okay, my point being that, like, just being in a Royal Rumble doesn't mean that you're on the main roster now. By that token, a couple of years ago, we had the return of DDP. he was on the main roster.
Well, I mean, that's how they built it.
Yeah. Well, either way, still a lot of debuts.
Yeah.
Point.
Exactly.
Sami
Well,
Zayn.
that's like saying AJ Styles fucking didn't debut at the Royal Rumble. Well, he did.
Yeah. But like, okay. There's a lot of debuts for Sami Zayn. Is the point.
Yeah.
Like, stop debuting and just fucking stay there. Just don't hype the crowd up so much that you hurt your shoulder.
Well, I mean, to be fair, who can blame him? I mean, after seeing how most of NXT's talent gets treated on the main roster, can't blame him for wanting to go back to NXT.
I think that was him wanting to go back to NXT thing.
Oh, probably not, but at the same time, who could blame him if he did want to?
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, I've heard this argument before, like, NXT talent not being utilized properly on the main roster, but I mean, technically, like, Rollins is an NXT guy.
Oh, yeah. I count all those people as well.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, they haven't been misused since they've been on the main roster.
No, but, like, the Shield was, like, a whole nother level of, like, Vince wanted to protect the shit out of them.
Had to make Roman look strong, man.
Exactly. He wanted to make them all look strong.
That's half the reason CM Punk left.
That and Ryback.
Yeah. Steroid guy. Who now uses his flying, his high knee thing in the corner.
And the Bulldog. He does the Bulldog as well.
Yeah. And he did the go to sleep fucking thing on Monday, I think it was. So, I don't know what the fuck you're doing there, Ryback, but if you want people to boo you, that's a very good way to do it.
Yeah, no shit.
Very, very good way to do it. Especially when you're in Chicago.
That's probably why he did it.
Yeah, well, I suppose so. I was surprised that Mr. McMahon didn't, instead of coming out to, after the Undertaker's like gong thing, like, I was surprised he didn't do the whole Paul Heyman come out to CM Punk's music thing.
Yeah, like you just hear like the static.
Yeah, just the static.
And then you hear like do 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 do, and then no chance.
Yeah. See, that's exactly what you should do in Chicago.
Whoa, trying to break shit, Paul.
Yeah, I'm just knocking over things, because why not? But, yeah, so Zayn's debut, do you reckon it was as impactful as...
Far from it.
Far from it?
I mean, it's good that he's on the main roster. I feel like he'll be one of the ones who actually gets treated decently, but, I don't know, it just didn't have the impact after 3 times before that.
See, I'm hoping that they realize they've got essentially, in my opinion, like the second coming of Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Like, and that they don't bury him to the point where it needs a fan reaction.
Like Daniel Bryan, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't mind if they write it that way, like, because feel free to write it that way.
But if it naturally goes that way.
Yeah, but, like, we don't need that to happen that way.
No.
Because, like, Daniel Bryan, it was excruciating seeing him succeed.
Yeah, like, you do the little ceremony thing where they're unifying the titles and they're hanging them up and shit, and there's, like, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, all these people in the ring.
Mark Henry and Miz.
Who cares about Mark Henry and Miz? But, like, all these guys in the ring.
They need some recognition, damn it.
All these guys in the ring, and then you have everyone chanting Daniel Bryan's name. And that is also the same night we got a really hilarious CM Punk reaction.
Yeah.
Where Stephanie said that her husband Triple H is the greatest champion of all time, and you see CM Punk in the background, like, just face palm and shake his head.
But it was awesome the fact that night that Mark Henry actually had to raise Daniel Bryan's hand.
Yeah, no shit.
To get the crowd to somewhat settle down.
And you could see Daniel Bryan was loving it. Like, it was one of the happiest moments of his life.
Yeah, but you could see, like, he was trying to keep the smile off of his face.
Yeah, he was.
Because he's like, oh shit, it's all good and well that this is happening right now, but once we get backstage, this is going to be talked about.
Yeah, like, no shit.
And not in a positive manner for me. Because very rarely was anything talked in a positive manner for him. So, yeah. So that pretty much wraps up the podcast for this week, I think, guys.
Yeah.
So that was the whole fucking show. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on what you thought of the topics we covered, and we will see you next time for another one-of-a-kind half hour of power.
Have a nice day.